Alright guys, this is the next base for the Town Hall 10 FC night. This is another ring base. I see a lot of people using hogs on this type of base, and it's really hard to do. Even though there's no real good spots for giant bombs or good spots for spring traps, it's still really awkward to do a Laloon, or I'm sorry, a hog attack. Mainly because you have what ends up being like 5 different heal zones. You have these different zones. Um, with your kill squad, you basically got to take out two, maybe 3 of them. Say you take out these 2 here, that now your hog's got to do this, or something like this, or like it's just really awkward to do that. So instead, I'm gonna try to push you guys to learn Laloon. This attack is basically one that I did during war. There was 2 other attacks before it, neither of which were Laloon. So it was kind of, I knew what the CC was, and that's about it. The plan on this one was basically do a queen walk. I think the queen walk was supposed to go like this, break in here, take out all this stuff, break out here, and then she was going to continue walking down this way. What ended up happening was actually better because she ended up going like this, taking out the AD, and then pushing through this way. For the Laloon, the plan was, all this was going to be taken care of. So it's basically kind of a reverse entry. I don't know what to call it, but basically the main plan is to take all this stuff out, and then your loons are going to path like this. So this whole way through, your loons are going to be tanked by the Lava Hound at the ADs. And that's basically the approach. You take out a section of the base, and then the rest of the base is going to be tanked by a Lava Hound. So if you look at this air defense, it's covering everything that's everything's in range of that air defense. So if a Lava Hound's sitting there, nothing can shoot your loons. That's basically the ideal kind of base for Laloon. So let's get to the video, which I think is this one. The very first thing I did was to drop a barb here. I knew that the CC was witches and a baby drag, so I didn't want, because this AQ is exposed, I just wanted to drop a BK on her and do a BK swap and not have to worry about her at all. So I didn't want my BK to be tied up with the witch's skeletons, so drop a barb, or the CC up top, and then drop my BK down low. So that was the very first thing I did. So the CC is mostly out. I think there was a couple minions still left in the CC, but that didn't really worry me. So I just went ahead with it. As you can see here, I'm not sure if you could tell, but the AQ, the next closest building, is actually the Archer Tower. I thought it was going to be, or I'm sorry, it's the Bomb Tower. It's actually, I thought it was going to be the Archer Tower. But I kind of made up for it. That's why I have 8 wall breakers. I wanted to break her in and out. The one thing you have to notice here is that the only way, at this point, the AQ is not going in the right direction. So I have to change my plan, and I have to wall break in here. If I dropped a wall breaker right here, right now, it would go to this bomb tower, because the next closest building behind an enclosed compartment is that bomb tower. So I have to wait until the bomb tower's down, and I have to wait for the mortars down, and then I can send the wall breaker to do what I want. So waiting. Still pathing where I want her to go. I knew I had to drop. I dropped an early rage here because there are 4-point defenses shooting at my AQ. So you have to scout these things before you attack. And I knew at that point right there, that's a possibility, especially with just the Expo and the Archer Tower, that I have to use a rage there. I brought 2 rages and 2 rages for the Queen Walk, and a rage, a heal, and 3 hastes for the Laloon portion. So let's see. Drop the rage, drop the wall breakers, and at this point, I think she's going in the direction I want her to go. Well, direction I adjusted on the fly for her to go. And then right about here is where I think I'm okay. Take out the AD. And then basically drop the BK as soon as the AQ jumps over the wall. So anytime you can get your an AQ, take out the enemy AQ with your BK, take it every time. And then the next thing is a Laloon from up here, because the those defenses didn't go down the way I originally planned. So tank from there, and then tank from here. All these defenses will be shooting at the Lava Hounds. And then let's see. I'm not sure if you noticed, but I dropped some late loons here and here. The reason being, I wanted these loons. As soon as this Archer Tower goes down, these loons right here would redirect and go towards this Archer Tower. These loons over on this side were solely intended to beef up the main portion going through the core of the base. I didn't know if the core of the base was going to be trapped with a bunch of red mines or any of that stuff. So a lot of these loons that I initially deployed could be dead by the time they get to the core. So I need to make sure there was a big pack going through there. You know, you need like 4, 5, 6 loons on each Inferno Tower to take it down in one drop. Otherwise, it's taking too long. So that's why I dropped those in that order. And a lot of times, people will waste or like use way too many hastes. I mean, I've only used 1 haste so far. I think some people would have used a haste here or a haste here. You have plenty of time. I mean, you don't have a ton of time, but I mean, what were they really going to be doing? So I figured I'd save my haste here. Let's draw that a little bit clearer. Haste here. That way, the loons inside this haste spell will be inside this haste spell when they're standing over the Inferno Tower, and because they're inside the spell, as soon as the Inferno Tower goes down, they will still have the spell effects when they go to the next Inferno Tower. So I would use a haste there. I ended up using a rage here, just because it was taking a long time. I was going to use the rage closer over here, but I ended up flip-flopping the rage and the haste. That's really more or less a personal preference, like what you want to use. Because there were so many loons there, a haste would have taken those buildings down as well. So I don't know. That's up to you. So I did a rage, and then a haste, and a heal. So now they're all going through the base. I have a grounded Expo, AD, Tesla, and 1 Archer Tower left, and that's more than enough loons to take that out. So the last little tidbit is right about here. Right about here, I noticed that this stuff was going to get skipped by my AQ. She was never going to get that. So I dropped 2 minions over here to start the cleanup early. And then, you know, as soon as I was in wait mode with my Laloon portion, which is, somewhere around here. Make sure to drop your minions where you drop your loons. So your loons are going to end up over here. It's going to take them forever to work back this way. So doesn't matter if it's hogs or loons or whatever, get that cleanup down as soon as those defenses are down, and that way your minions are working this way, your loons are working this way, and you're really saving a ton of time just cutting the base in half. So that's it. Hopefully you guys will pick this up. Let me know if you have any questions, and see you for the next one.